There's not a moment to spare. It's quite a drop from the top. So how you feeling down there? It's a cold, cruel, harsh reality. Caught, stuck here with your enemies. Who do you think you are? Tearing us all apart. Where did you think you could go? 'Cause everyone already knows it's 20 to 1. Yeah, so you better run. You got the world on its knees. You're taking all that you please. You want more, but you get nothing from me. You like the burden we bear. You love the hate that we share. You want more, but you get nothing from me but enemies. Enemies. You started something that you just couldn't stop. You turned the ones that you love into the angriest mob. And the one last wish is that you pay for it. And there's no way you're getting out of this. Who do you think you are? Tearing us all apart. Where did you think you could go? 'Cause everyone already knows it's 20 to 1. Yeah, so you better run. You got the world on its knees. You're taking all that you please. You want more, but you get nothing from me. You like the burden we bear. You love the hate that we share. You want more, but you get nothing from me but enemies.
We are indeed just a few short days away from WrestleMania. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, the WrestleMania preview edition of Raw Reaction. I am indeed your host with the most, Nate the effing great. And usually I would have my friend AJ Jensen join me here, but unfortunately he is not able to attend tonight. But that just means I'm going to have to deliver twice the excitement, twice the thrill, twice the ride for you guys. So you know something, I am going to do my damnedest to make sure that you guys are psyched for Raw as part of WrestleMania. So let's just build right into it. I'm actually going to be combining not only Monday Night Raw, but also WrestleMania Raw side as well. So let's just build right into it. First, talking about the Women's Championship matchup, which has now been changed to a Fatal 4-Way Elimination matchup. This definitely makes things a lot more interesting. I remember just hearing that announcement and almost immediately I thought to myself, maybe I should second guess myself. Maybe I should actually do a different prediction for it. But I am actually going to be sticking to my guns with who I have. Because if I'm wrong and if I'm right and I change the prediction, then what would be the point? So this is going to be very interesting. I mean, this has been a very storied Fatal 4-Way Raw Women's Championship matchup. I mean, you talk about all the history that Sasha Banks and Charlotte had from last year, main eventing Hell in the Cell, from having match after match against each other. Oh my gosh, I mean, you look at everything that they've done. The matches on Raw, the Falls Count Anywhere matchup, the matches on the events, the Iron Maiden match at Roadblock was just amazing. And then we get Bayley called up. She gets into the title picture, and she wins the title a few months ago on Monday Night Raw, retaining it on paper at Fastlane against Charlotte. And then it basically evolved into it originally being Charlotte versus Bayley, and then Sasha got mixed in, and then Nia Jax got mixed in. It is just flat out insane. Holy cow, this is just one of those very high-storied, high-profile Fatal 4-Way matches, and it is definitely going to be one of those great matches that I'm looking forward to at WrestleMania. Now, here's my only concern about this. I think that with everybody else on the show, whether it be Charlotte, Sasha, or Nia, they could win the title and they could have a good, legitimate title run. For Bayley, unfortunately, she is the one I think that needs the victory the most out of this, and it needs to be a solid victory in which she does not win with any help. She doesn't have any shenanigans. She doesn't do anything like that. She just instead is one of those people that goes out there, does her damnedest to prove herself, and does indeed create a WrestleMania moment. Because despite the fact that we may not get that WrestleMania moment of her winning the title, we could still have a great WrestleMania moment where Bayley actually retains the title and fulfills a dream there. So we're just going to have to wait and see how well that goes. Hoping for the best. So that is really going to be a great matchup going into WrestleMania. They had a nice little tag team match, as well as a couple random promos, I guess you could say, during the show, which in all honesty, again, this is one of the few times where I actually watched this and I thought to myself, oh wow, they did a really great job just, creating something. They created chemistry, they created a story, they created something great for people to watch for WrestleMania. So for the tag team matchup, we saw Bayley pin Charlotte, but in the end, it was Nia Jax who got the last laugh because she's Nia Jax. Why not? I think that Nia Jax is going to be the very big time wild card in this matchup. Sasha and Charlotte are going to provide a great matchup. Bayley's going to add a little more to that. Nia Jax, on the other hand, we don't know what she's going to really provide. I think that tonight she definitely started opening some eyes, but if she wins, I think that that's where everybody's going to have their full attention on her. Whew, boy, I mean, I'm already winded just talking about that matchup, and we still got a lot more for Monday Night Raw. I mean, geez Louise. So talking about another matchup that happened for Raw, the Raw Tag Team title matchup. This is very interesting, to say the least. The triple threat matchup being between the champions, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, taking on Enzo and Cass, as well as Sheamus and Cesaro, the Great White North. This has been a very, very lackluster structured feud / rivalries going on with these three teams. It's just really, really bizarre, in all honesty. I don't know really how to take it, but it just started all at Royal Rumble, where Sheamus and Cesaro were defending their titles, and then the club won out of nowhere. They successfully retained against Enzo and Cass at Fastlane, and now they're in the triple threat tag match in for WrestleMania. So, in all honesty, this is going to be a great showcase for all three of these teams. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. Now, here's the interesting part about this. Tonight, they were supposed to have a tag team match between Enzo and Cass, as well as the club. But there was a backstage segment in which Cesaro and Sheamus are talking about, doing the right thing for Mick Foley, and, just showing that, hey, we're basically representing him and showing that he had faith in us and that we're not going to let him down. The club beat him down, in which we saw them also using a ladder. And keep in mind about this, because this is going to be a key component to what I'm about to actually think that is going to happen at WrestleMania. So Enzo and Cass come out. They do their whole spiel in which they, talk about going into WrestleMania and walking out with tag team gold. They do their whole shtick, and just as they're about to do their catchphrase of, soft, the club comes out and they just are ready for a matchup, but then Sheamus and Cesaro come out and beat down the club with a ladder. And then it just got all hectic, all crazy. Enzo and Cass got beat down with a ladder, and then Sheamus and Cesaro got beat down with a ladder. The club still looked really strong going into Mania. But here's the thing. I am very curious if this is evolving a possible ladder match stipulation going into WrestleMania. It's one of those things that I watch it and I think, that would actually be pretty interesting, to say the least. I think it would be kind of cool to see a triple threat ladder match. Excuse me. And I think that it would add a little extra element to the title matchup and make it a little more interesting for everybody there. I'm not quite sure how I full on feel about that. I am a little more interested in having them do the whole, regular triple threat rules. But if they add a ladder match stipulation to it, I'm okay with it. I mean, I'm not going to complain about it. It actually is a pretty cool idea. So, tag team title matchup, still a little bit fuzzy, but I think that they have a good build-up, and I think as long as they have a good match, then this matchup will definitely be one of the matches of the night. So we go from that to the Cruiserweight Championship matchup. This matchup kind of came out of nowhere. It's one of those things that got built up immediately after Fastlane. Austin Aries making his comeback after a major injury involving Nakamura accidentally hitting him in the eye and him having to get, I think it was like a surgery going into that. It's one of those things where, it is a great comeback story for Austin Aries to just come back, beat everybody that's in his path, and basically move on to becoming the Cruiserweight Champion. This is going to be one of those matches that I'm going to be very, very... man, there's such a good story with this, because Neville, ever since he came back at Roadblock, has been one of the best heels that Raw has ever produced, calling himself the king of the cruiserweights and winning the Cruiserweight Championship at Royal Rumble. He has been beating down everybody ever since then. He's had great matches, including his Fastlane match against Jack Gallagher, which was all honesty match of the night. That was the matchup that everybody was just like, they can look back and think, oh yeah, it had this matchup on here. It was really good. I do believe that Jack Gallagher, Austin Aries and Neville are going to tear the house down. My main issue, though, was that this was announced during the broadcast, was that this matchup is going to take place on the pre-show. Why? Why is this match on the pre-show? Why is this match on the pre-show? Why is this match on the frickin' pre-show? This actually has a story. This actually has some build-up to it. This is a great matchup. I love everything about it. I mean, Austin Aries proving himself to be the world's, the greatest man who ever lived. Neville proving himself to be the king of the cruiserweights. It's one of those things that it definitely needs to be on the main card. But it's going to be on the pre-show. Great. So this is going to be one of those situations like last year where they're going to have the match and then everybody's going to be slowly coming in and there's going to be very little reaction to it because there's not everybody in there. It just, why? Why isn't this match on the main card? Come on. I honestly, I'm looking at some of the matches on this card, and there's at least one match on here that I could think that could go to the pre-show. Two. Actually, we'll make it three. The three matches being Ambrose versus Corbin, because unless they really add a hardcore element to it, I just do not see it really drawing that many people's attention. The Nikki Bella and John Cena Miz Maurice tag match could go on the pre-show. It just does not have that much in the way of build-up. Even if you add Al Roker as the ring announcer, I just do not see a reason for that. Or even the SmackDown Women's Championship matchup. Again, just not much build-up to it. And unless you have somebody really coming back and just really making something great with this matchup, there's no point in having it on the main show. It just doesn't work like that. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to deal with it. So Neville and Austin Aries are going to be on the pre-show. Great job, WWE. You just know how to just get under my skin. But you know what? It's still on the card, and it's still a matchup that I think is going to really tear the house down. It's going to be great. Let's talk a little bit about the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Alright, so tonight on Raw, they had like this kind of Battle Royal showcase deal in which Big Show is out, and then he eliminated Jinder Mahal, and then he eliminated Bo Dallas, and then here comes the Shining Stars. Everybody's just coming out like, whoa, everybody's going crazy and just beating down everybody. Just beating down on Big Show, and then Big Show gets eliminated, and then Big Show comes back in. He just, does a couple choke slams, a little boops, punches to the face. Golden Truth probably putting on one of the funniest things I've ever seen, and that's them retreating for the hills. Then we